right now thinking about some of the greatest crossovers in history. Batman with Superman, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and of course, Super Metroid with A Link to the Past. Greetings everyone, and welcome to this Group D rematch between Etium and Bacon for this Combo Randomizer tournament sponsored by Rank 1. I am Wolfman2000, also known as Danstad, and I'm joined tonight by Leslie Pro 04.
Good evening, everybody, and this is gonna be a heck of a race. I was gonna think of some other combinations that work with sports, like I know this may be too soon for folks where I'm from, but Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez. The list goes on and on.
And ooh, chocolate with peanut butter. Chat is already getting into this.
A plus right there. That's a good one.
However, it is time for us to chow down on this 3 to 4 hour journey where we have Samus versus Mega Man X.
Yes, they include some customizable sprites now on the Super Metroid side as well.
Well, it's nice to know that there are more heroes out there in Zebes, but most runners like to go straight to Hyrule.
Ooh, that's the island, and Bacon goes right by it.
Oh, that's going to be a nasty location. But at least we get missiles.
Ooh boy, Link's house with a morph ball.
That feels kind of early, don't you think?
It's early, but it's the nice type of early, as we get a map check on Bacon's side. We got plain crystals at Desert and Hera with a blue crystal at Eastern Palace.
And while etium is right now setting up for the Houlihan strategy to get some extra money, go in the cave, get out, jump in the water a few times, fall in the hole, find your coordinates mixed up, and there you go. Uncle, meanwhile, with a piece of art. But what about that chest? X-ray scope.
That's got some uses, although my personal favorite use for it, get charging plasma along with it, and you can microwave certain bosses.
We're all about food and combos tonight, aren't we?
Well, it is Friday night.
True. And if there... Friday night is often a good night to have dessert, especially since, you know, we're starting off the weekend strong. Etium trying to start off strong with some bombs, but those are 50-50 bushes, so perhaps we're just going to take the one to go to the shed in southwest Kakariko.
Not a good tree pull on Bacon's side, as that's just green rupee.
But I did see more power bombs, actually. Ooh, and yeah, etium's just going for him.
With early morph, that's very understandable, and that is a big 20 at Lumberjack, so not needing that to...
We'll take our small miracles where we can get them. So yeah, with power bombs and the morph ball, that opens up a decent amount of green Brinstar. Ooh, 300 rupees at the mushroom spot. That's gonna help for shopping.
Oh, that always helps, no doubt.
Oh, that's gonna help even more, I think, for later on. That looked like a mirror.
It certainly was. That puts Death Mountain in logic already by way of business center. Well, wait, we need super missiles. Don't mind me.
And, oh great, I'm throwing chat off. No, but folks, I help out with a lot of things here. Alrighty, nice idea by ATM to get some more bombs, and I think Bacon is soon about to do the same. Of course, I gotta stock up on missiles first.
Our chicken coop just had rupees.
Oh, we still have a bottle vendor to see. Okay, bottle vendor, why do you have missiles?
Bottle vendor is secretly an arms dealer, and Bacon threw a bomb the wrong way, landing it on the bed. Interesting to note, with current version of Combomizer, all bottles that are found are empty, and we just found 2 of them down the well.
Why? Okay, that just seems like interesting randomization placement. Also, hi Greg, and hi Super Missiles.
Supers have opened things up on the Super Metroid side even more, as etium is going straight to check sick kid.
Oh, thank you for checking up on me. Have some of these. I don't know what they are.
They look like cheeseburgers.
Well, depending on your stomach content, they can certainly feel like cheeseburgers, or they can certainly feel like something else.
I was thinking Taco Bell, but we'll leave it at that.
That's actually a better comparison. Anyway, Blind's Hut, we get some more missiles, more money, and more supers. And we are starting to be armed to the teeth here, I think, Leslie.
Yeah, we certainly are. We definitely have a lot of ammunition to be able to do a lot of stuff in Super Metroid, but to me it seems like it would be a little bit too early to make the jump to that direction, because you still have got a number of opening sphere checks that you can do. Like South Shore has like 7 checks between the dam and Mini Moldorm Cave, 8 if you include Ice Rod Cave. And you still have the Eastern Palace area.
Considering that Eastern Palace is a pendant, I mean, I know everyone says different things about it, but honestly, I don't know if it's worth the journey right now.
One would be surprised that sometimes pendant dungeons do have goodies inside that are required.
That is true.
Looks like we are getting South Shore on Etium's side.
Yep, this is a reasonable play. 2 items at the reservoir, one of which is currently submerged. And then you can take the desert gamble to see Agina, or take the more common route to the mini Moldorms.
Having mirror speeds this up, because when you use mirror when pushing a block in the overworld, it just disappears.
Got to enjoy those minor glitches. The results of the minor glitches, maybe not much. We already have 812 rupees. That is more than enough for...
At least the bug's spitting out full magic refills. You just need one of those to get going. so it works out pretty well.
Uh-oh. ETM has to be careful. Oh! And double! Oh! You're
Yeah,
not...
hate to see that happen.
Yeah. What happened the first time was the bomb was placed over the pit, so it just basically exploded out of nowhere. And then while trying to recover the power-up item... Yeah, that didn't work. Oh, Bacon going to see Desert Legend Agina.
Interesting strategy. You can get some information here. While that's just missiles, that's one way to assure that you don't have to go back there. Agina, this is a play that generally doesn't pay off. However, there are seeds where occasionally Agina will have something. And those are seeds that you just shake your head at the game and just say, why?
Because the journey is sometimes more fun than the destination?
Potentially, but it's arrows.
Well, those arrows will come in handy later, perhaps. Anyway, Sahasrara's closet. 3 items back here. E-tank and 2 missiles.
The energy tank will help for the Super Metroid side. And etium is going to make the play for heading into Eastern. I don't blame him, because to start this seed, very health-starved on the Link to the Past side.
And yeah, once we take care of Eastern, we have Mini Moldorm Cave, Ice Rod Cave, maybe doing the standard opening sequence if we, you know, if we feel comfortable with the bomb count that we have. Or otherwise, we have to go to Super Metroid just to get to Death Mountain. Uh-oh, Bacon's in the same situation as Etium is. Crosses the pit, places the bomb, and gets the kill.
Hopefully there's a bomb pack here. But we do have a hammer. And a screw attack? Well, no
And
bomb.
an E-tank.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah, I cannot argue with those results.
Although that hammer, well, Front of Escape's looking pretty good, as you do have that as a weapon to make it happen.
And our first item in Eastern, missiles. Now, if I was Bacon, I would have considered buying bombs first, because you're not guaranteed a bomb pickup as you go through the standard opening. Because there are 3 items in the back, and if we do get a small key in one of the upcoming chests, then, well, we don't have the boots, so we need bomb in order to blow up the side path for the remaining 3. First chest being a map, though, doesn't matter. Oh! Speaking of.
Funny how that happens. You mention you need something and then it shows up.
I am used to that all the time, though usually I call it much closer than that.
Well, there is a drop for Bacon.
Alright, Bacon gets bailed. And gets some missiles for the effort. In the meantime, Sanctuary Bunk Rocks for Etium only pays out money.
Worth noting that library was only 50 rupees too, so no one's going back for that. Unless you're really desperate for money.
As someone that does like to buy potions, especially with the current bottle behavior, I would consider it.
And
Oh,
Zelda still has an arrow upgrade.
so that means the key is either in the dark or locked by a glove. Honestly, I would consider hopping to Super Metroid right now.
Knowing what we know about the seed, that seems like the play to make would be going into Super Metroid and start knocking out that side's 100 chests.
Now, etium has that X-ray scope, and Bacon uses that last bomb to stock up on some more munitions for Super Metroid. Perhaps we should at least explain how to actually win a tournament match here. So, the way this works is, obviously we've seen two games. In order to win, you have to beat both of them. The order that you beat the two of them does not matter. You just have to beat both.
Oh, wow. I did not think of bomb strats like that, which etium just did. I'm gonna have to remember that next time I play a standard seed and the weapon rolls bomb.
I may have to consider that as well, Leslie.
Worth noting that when etium got the boots, he bailed immediately on Eastern. Does Bacon go for the dark room? Or does he do the same?
So, I don't know here. Part of the reason I say that is, Bacon had an opportunity to go to Dark Cross earlier, and did not.
He wouldn't have been able to. He doesn't have a glove to get those first rocks out of the way.
Dark Cross doesn't.
Oh, right. The dark rooms. So those are trickier dark rooms, and at 3 hearts, maybe not comfortable with doing that.
I think etium is going to head to Super Metroid, staying in logic.
Opting to pick something up. Stopping off on bombs, I think this is a run at Mini Moldorm Cave here.
Indeed, and now Bacon can run and is also passing on the dark rooms. I am suspecting we will see a... Okay, what is your play, Bacon?
Running the bonk rocks, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. I forgot. The tracker I'm using, I've already marked the square, and I kind of forgot I can't track 2 players simultaneously with this. But now etium is good to go, as Bacon does a reset.
And this reset puts Bacon into Super Metroid, starting at the ship. I think etium was trying for the crab there, instead got the bee.
Bacon is starting on the east side, heading towards the mini-moat.
Uh-oh, ATM.
Oh!
No! Gets killed by the crab heading to the ice rod cave. The Bacon has found the silver arrows on the road to wrecked ship.
Well, those are most likely going to be picked up without a problem, so I'm just going to mark it as such.
Now, Bacon could have opted to go to Red Tower, but instead is going to head down to bomb Torizo, which won't trigger a fight unless the more fall bombs are here.
I'm curious about something else. Let me just see the item first. Okay, peace heart. How does Mega Man X turn into a Metool?
Admittedly, I am curious about that myself, but that is a nice touch. Also, note to Kaji Inafune, if that were to happen in a Mega Man title, that'd be hilarious and awesome at the same time.
Etium does get through the Alcatraz jump as Bacon refills on arrows.
We're getting a look at Omega Missile on ATM's side. Surprised Bacon isn't using this opportunity to check back a gauntlet no sooner than I say it. Does he do the same, and ATM has found another power bomb pack.
Hi again, Greg, and energy tank.
Energy tank, and in this case, it is the Super Metroid, Greg.
And now Bacon is going to be the first to enter Green Brinstar. Do you think we're going to see the early super check?
I would certainly think so. It requires pulling off a technique known as mock ball, where by holding diagonal down and holding jump while in midair, you're able to zip along the ground and not fall through. It counts as a sequence break, so magic powder has been found. And there's a piece of heart as well, which, considering we only have 3 hearts on the Link to the Past side, definitely worth picking up. And yes, it opens up Bat, but we know Speed Booster won't be there. At least not in normal logic, which is what we're playing at. Oh, hello, Moon Pearl!
Where is that Speed Booster?
Just found the Moon Pearl at Mock Ball Missile on the exit. Where's that? It's been too long since I've played the vanilla game.
I think that's the super missile spot, but...
Yeah, that's the super spot. That's how you know it's been a while since I played the vanilla game.
Alright, missiles across the secret pit. And some money in the reward room.
As etium also picks up the Moon Pearl, both runners on the same path. Yes, it is, chat. However, here's the trick. If you hold run while doing that, you're going to lose your speed. Holding jump allows you to retain your speed in that state.
We are getting a lot of missiles right now. Admittedly, super missiles are what's cared for more when it comes to damage purposes.
That does have me worried that we might not find Charge Beam for a while.
Yeah, right. One of the new logic changes, you no longer require the charge beam to take some creatures out. Speaking of, we are called the Eticoons. Please save us at the end. Please!
Now we're getting a look at Big Pink, and we've got supers to start us off.
Alright, side hopper special. What's down below?
Got a heart piece. Not bad. But I think for Mission Impossible, you'd like something a little, better, but that's just me.
If it helps, I am trying to track the heart pieces. Oh, hey there, sword.
Gonna be needing that, that's for sure. Looks like we're gonna get ourselves an attempt at Spore Spawn skip by Bacon. Who gets it first try?
Yeah, if you see that screen shake, you know you have it.
And on setup, it's worth noting that if your screen scrolled all the way to the right and locked in that position, it's not gonna work. And we got a heart piece at Spore Spawn Stupers.
Now the only thing left in this room is the actual charge beam location.
More supers, so we're already building up a nice supply.
That we are. Now, in a case like this, would you go to Retro Brinstar first, or do you go to Dry Vegetation Brinstar?
Red Tower does seem awfully tempting, but honestly, I'd save that for climbing up to get to Fantoon later on.
I think Bacon wants Retro. Oh!
Almost. That is a tough wall jump to hit. Got it. It's worth noting that those big side hoppers hit for a lot. Like, I think it's like 80 damage at this point.
That sounds about right. Ooh, more supers at Morph Ball. And etium is going for the wave gate glitch here.
Got it on the second shot.
I think.
Wait, I'm not hearing the audio cue for the gate.
There it is.
There we go.
Also shield at Alpha Missiles. Uh-oh, Bacon is running low on power bombs. I'd be careful. Oh, look.
Yeah, because of that, I'd question whether the Billy Mays room's a good idea now or not. And I think Bacon is trying to do a damage boost to get to the ceiling E-Tank spot, which is supers, but unfortunately the enemies are taken out.
Bacon can pull this off, but I'm gonna hope that Billy Mace is worth it here. Alright, we call this room the Billy Maze because, hey, we see a cape. You may think that's it, but wait, there's more! Okay, the missiles were not worth it, but the cape may have been.
That means we're basically a lamp away from having access to AGA 1. And on top of that, we're also a glove away from getting Dark World access.
Alright, ATM is right now going to the red tower. And falling down.
Interesting call. Bacon opting to head up to head to Old Mother Brain.
Well, I don't know, when is a good time to actually make this check. Perhaps the earlier the better? Just get it out of the way?
Chat's saying he doesn't have a choice due to having only one power bomb. Picks up a rupee stash of 100 rupees for his trouble.
And in the meantime, Etium has to wait for this block to spawn in order to access the Spazer location.
Which turns out to be a piece of heart.
Well, okay. We haven't even found a heart container yet, so it is kind of hard to argue. How many heart containers would you want total before you felt comfortable on the Link to the Past side? Assuming
Depends on what mail I have. If it's blue, I'm usually good around like 12, 13. Red, I might stop at 10. If I'm on green, then knowing how hard some enemies hit, I ain't stopping. Unless I'm like one item from Go mode or something.
Alright, ATM is now in Norfair. And is checking out the high jump area. 3 items available here. First one, bomb capacity. Second one, blue boomerang. Third one, money.
Unfortunately, not as worthwhile as it could have been.
And Bacon wants to go to Red Tower back? Oh! That's why the play was done the way it was. A reset was done after, or rather we just ended up at the ship. A reset may have worked, the new soft reset anyway, and... Okay, half magic on, Croc exit.
I'd consider that worth going for later on once you have grapple beam or space jump. In the here and now, we've got Etium on Death Mountain and can access Hera and East Death Mountain as Bacon finds Kina Samaria up at Beta Power Bombs. And then gets vile plumed by a yapping maw.
By the way, do not adjust your set. ETM is going through a screen that normally requires the lantern, and if you don't have it, it is pitch black intentionally. And as ETM gets to escort the old man back, Bacon gets some missiles.
And more missiles. So Red Tower only really worth it for the Kina Samaria.
And in the meantime, on top of... Well, there's our lamp.
Well, the good news is we can now clear both Hera and the desert by way of the book that is at Blue Brinstar. I'm not sure. Oh, going for... I know it's no lie. I thought, wait a minute, this is an Ocarina of Time. So you can't use the bottle to catch a fairy, you have to use a bug net. Sorry. Worth noting that even without a glove for desert, you can still get at least one item there that could be something. I'd call that worth it, because you never know. This could be a setup for a desert double dip.
Oh, Bacon gets grabbed by the... I don't know what you call that creature. Also, Turtle? Rock? A pendant along with Thieves Town?
Yep, it's Thieves Town Green with your 5-6 at Swamp Palace and Skull Woods.
That's an interesting combo there. I'm kind of forced to think, are we going to see Titan's Mitts on the pyramid?
It's certainly possible.
Anyway,
we got power bombs in the Hera.
Yep, that's one item already down. Hera has 2 of them.
Unfortunately, no Hera basement forced at this juncture.
It could happen later. Whether we wanted to or not's another story. In the meantime, Bacon going to visit Kraid, it looks like.
We've got all the ammo needed to beat Kraid, so I don't see why not. And yeah, book was Retro Brinstar.
Some extra bombs before we take out Kraid. As etium is about to take on Moldorm.
With only 2 hearts, this is not a sure thing, folks.
And while the hammer is definitely stronger than our fighter sword, it's also... You have to kind of telegraph the hit and hope it works. There you go.
Yep, and it's done. Let's just say the hammer has a weird hitbox, but to get that second item, we are indeed gonna have to go to the basement.
Well, good thing we just picked up that lantern. Anyway, I forgot to mention, Zeebs has plenty of ways to entertain yourself. Welcome to Kraid's Dance Hall.
I think... Yep, we might have... Yep, no quick kill there, so we're getting the full version of Kraid for this fight.
And now, we dance. While Etium is just doing some toe tapping, I guess.
Yep, a coffee break variety of toe tapping, and with that, Kraid is down for Bacon. We get high jump boots.
Now that I find interesting. Because technically, don't you need the either high jump or the ability to fly, quote-unquote, in order to get up here?
That is right. You can jump to get here, but it is a jump that is considered out of logic. And by fly, we are referencing either space jump or having morph ball bombs, because this game's logic can expect you to do infinite bomb jump, which I cannot keep a rhythm for that for the life of me.
Maybe those in chat that are more familiar with the Super Metroid side of things, ooh, Wave Beam, can
Nice.
inform us of perhaps some other way to get up there in logic. Note that this tournament does use the normal difficulty and not the hard mode difficulty, so some of these sequence breaks that you probably can do are not expected by our runners.
Well, there's a shovel. That's an interesting find, because that could be an item. It could also be a whole lot of nothing.
Well, Spiral Cave is going to force us to dig a little deeper, I guess.
Yep, and now from Spiral to a Paradox. In Paradox Cave, as Bacon is going through the high jump area. Heart Container and Red Boomerang.
And thank you, chat, for confirming. We are technically missing logical access to Crate, then. Either that, or I'm just completely botching my memory here.
We did get another heart container filled, courtesy of a piece of heart. And we also got Cane of Burner.
But no Varia.
And not enough health to consider going for the fire run, which can be expected in hard logic, but not in normal logic.
So we have 4 energy tanks if we count the reserve.
Hello, Speed Booster. That puts us back on track with what we saw earlier in Grin.
Alright, so not exactly a master shovel, but I think JTN would still be proud.
Yeah, that's certainly worth the effort, no doubt about that. Because with that find also puts this powder into logic. Let's see what this turns out to be.
Also, Bacon checking out what is on that ether tablet.
Pocket
Nothing
change.
there. But for etium, na 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 power glove!
Dark World.
Well, that too, sure.
Had to be said, honestly.
Yeah, chat said it best. You now have a curse of strength. You will use double the power in order to lift things. And so, welcome to the Dark World, where we're starting off with a Cave of Unknown Value.
Also known as a artist formerly known as Hype Cave. And that is not a hype start. Well, Blue Mail's not bad, but if you're after hype, that's a letdown. It's still searching for an identity.
It's mostly a munitions cave. Granted, I will not argue the blue mail at all, it's just... that particular piece of equipment is subjective to our runners.
Personally, at low health, I would be fine with that.
And etium getting super speed off those pyramid steps, and just some money on the actual ledge.
and we might be getting an early catfish play.
About 45 minutes or so by the time the ceremony actually concludes, and I guess that's early.
Well, it is, considering we just got Dark World access.
Okay, maybe 44:30.
Meanwhile, Bacon busted Moldorm.
And, oh yeah, mirror equipped, why not take advantage of it and visit a kingfish of questionable value? Oh, ice beam on that ledge.
Oh my goodness, something like that will make Turian a lot easier. And with high jump, I believe something like that could put things in logic, especially if space jump is farther down the logic chain.
So where are the flippers?
Well, that's a Master Sword, so I'm not questioning that.
I'm sorry, King Zora with value?
I think Princess Zelda might have asked King Zora to watch over that.
I don't know what timeline we're in anymore.
No clue. No clue. But we are getting a look at Back of Escape for the first time. So Dark Forest is an item.
Yep, and we're gonna head back there through the back way. Come on, rats, be kind. Thank you. And yeah, chat is correct. With our current armaments, we can access the Bombos tablet.
Both tablets are in play, but we know the Ether tablet's no good, so it could be the Bombos tablet, but routing there, routing there would be a bit of a hassle for just one check at present.
So I'm suspecting etium is now heading to the Dark World.
Dark Cross was a heart container. Nope, or bombs, or
It was a heart container.
Oh, it was. Alright. ATM took a bit of a wrong turn on his route to get to the Dark World portal. Unfortunately, that turn only works when you have Titan's mitts.
I'm still saying Titan's mitts are in the pyramid. Extra magic for our troubles as we enter the Dark World by the, I forget if this area is also called the Lost Woods or something else. Oh yeah, Skull Woods. But that's the name of the dungeon. What's the overworld location called? Or is all this just called Skull Woods? I forget.
I've always called this Skull Woods straight up because it's basically the dungeon and its overworld location.
Fair point. And right, without the Cane of Samaria, ETM has to do this the long way.
$50 to get us started.
Well, at the very least, that's one of our 2 items. So maybe we'll get lucky and find the second item out in front.
It's interesting to me that Bacon is not dashing through Spiral Cave. I mean, we've all forgotten we have boots, but maybe that was intentional. Hard to say.
I don't know which game Bacon more favors, but that could be a factor.
And our second item is in the back.
Or at least locked behind the big key in the back. It's one of the two.
We're getting a look at Bumper Ledge here.
Nothing.
Yep, not worth.
So now, Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. So, fair question. Does Misery Mire have another name? I could have sworn I've seen in an old instruction book that that area used to be called the Haunted Wasteland for whatever reason. But I may be mixing that up with the Ocarina of Time instruction manual or something.
Yeah, that does sound like a mix-up. I do remember a sign outside that area in the vanilla game calls that the Swamp of Evil. And the sign says, puts it simply, no entrance, no escape.
Swamp of Evil. Got it. And, okay, apparently... Whoa, tempered already?
Ooh. Hey, you ain't gonna hear me complain about that. This tempered sword is the way to go when it comes to offense.
But yeah, what I was about to say is, apparently the Skullwoods area is technically called the Skeleton Forest. Maybe the Japanese name.
Got Bacon approaching Dark Cross from the front. Etium bonks on a dead rock, well, rather a cursed rock, heading into the sea house, and only 20 rupees. And
now, let's play a game. Spend 30 rupees, open 2 chests.
And get space jump, so there's our logical access to Kraid.
And as I look on the Super Metroid map, that doesn't actually gain us much else. It was primarily the speed booster we needed. Also, third bottle in the brewery.
Makes sense to have an empty bottle lying around there.
Completely fair, as Bacon now gets the speed booster.
So we're getting at least a front 4 check here in Thieves Town, which is always a good play to make whenever it's a pendant. Although with it being a green pendant, an argument can be made to just finish it anyway. And chat is pointing out that Space Jump does give logical access to wrecked ship.
I thought the speed boost was enough for that.
It is enough for using Shine Spark, but I believe normal logic says Space Jump or Grapple Beam. Or an IBJ, maybe, I'm not sure. But either way, Bacon's about to be cursed with being unable to skip leg day ever again. Because he now lives. An IBJ is Infinite Bomb Jump.
But an infinite bomb jump is not something we can do right now because we kind of need the normal morph ball bombs. That is the ones that don't use ammunition.
That and gravity suit would be needed for an IBJ indirect ship. Knew I was forgetting something there.
Now Bacon heading into the Dark World as well makes perfect sense. As etium is now in the end. Oh, pedestal check.
And it's a piece of heart.
Oh well. Sorry for those that wanted it, but not going to happen today. Now, I am concerned about the number of items found in Thieves Town so far. We've only found one. Now, fortunately, we already have the small key, so it's not like we have to worry about that, but... what are we going to find? Shield number 2, apparently.
And a heart container in the big chest.
Well, we already knew that Blind has the final item. Of course, Blind also has, oh! I don't know if Bacon intended to take a death there.
Yeah, he did. That was for getting out of there and getting health back, and Blind's got jokes for days.
When you're a baker, don't loaf around. Yuck, 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 yuck. Appropriate emote, Leslie. Appropriate emote.
You never know when a sub emote's gonna come in handy, folks. And it's a bomb upgrade on Blind, but more importantly, Blind dropping the green pendant does give us another check at Sahasrara.
Alright, Village of Outcasts is mostly cleared out. The only check left to do in the town specifically, well, technically 2 or 3, we require the Titan's Mints. Oh boy, Bacon has to be careful. There we go. And now we are visiting Dampe's cousin, I guess, in the digging game.
Oh my! Gravity suit! That gives us access to Meridia!
That it does. Ooh,
And it's the only thing we can't get in Meridia as we are equipped now would be the Shack Tool location. That requires Grapple Beam.
Single arrow in the VT cave. Yeah, it's nice for looking at, but we're most likely equipped already at this point. Wait, etium, there you go. Don't forget about Stumpy. Okay, forget about Stumpy.
Yep.
Now this may be a play to, Bombos. Well, the Bombos tablet, I should say.
With how many items are in Randomizer? Even a one-off check like this has the potential to have something. Oh no, skips it instead.
Right.
Doesn't have the book. That would
Yeah.
explain.
I completely forgot about that.
So that's a bit of an advantage Bacon has over etium at the moment. As Bacon has gone to Retro Grin, etium has not. Might be a while until that happens, because right now etium can go into Ret Ship and Meridia. That's two potential bosses right there.
Looks like etium wants the gauntlet first.
Which, with Space Jump and Screw Attack, is a very quick check. Compared to, say, trying to bomb through it.
I would like to know how acid can be in this room but not spill over to our ship landing site.
Not sure, but I believe that's a... Yep, that is a reset because that location didn't have anything.
I mean, there was an energy tank at the other end. Now, if I was playing, I'd just go for that energy tank because I am not that great on the Super Metroid side of things.
Yeah, I could see why one would go for that E-Tank. As Bacon gets their space jump.
Now, what is inside this other room over here?
Heart container, not saying no to that. Not right now, anyway.
And, yeah, this may be... Let's see, Red Tower or Wrecked Ship?
One for Red Tower, which makes sense, although with Space Jump, the X-ray scope location is in logic, but that might not be until later yet. Not an easy location to route in, admittedly.
It may be worthwhile if we're considering just diving into Meridia right now.
And Bacon's been bunny beamed into the spirit of Dr. Light, with Etium getting Kana Samar.
Yep, etium is going to see the missiles and missiles. Pair of missiles. And yeah, Screw Attack allows you to just plow through those... I don't know what you call those enemies, the ones that just levitate and yet hop up and down a bit.
It has been years since I last looked at the player's guide for this game, so I could not tell you off the top of my head what that enemy is. I always find it interesting that that enemy cannot be taken out with Screw Attack. Maybe that's just me.
Also, it looks like we are seeing the wrecked ship.
I find this routing to be interesting because I personally would have gone for Red Ship first and then gone down Red Tower on my way to Meridia and clean up the routing that way. That's just me. And we have silvers for etium. It's worth noting that Randomizer does not use progressive bow logic, so you still pick up the bow and silver arrows separately.
Our container in the, well, the moat, basically. And yeah, space jump makes grapple beam at 99% pointless.
Bacon has upgraded to the fire shield. There's one item you can get in Wreck Ship ahead of Phantoon, and it's this missile pack right here. Well, it's a missile in vanilla. It turns out to be bombs, which etium is not interested in.
Now, Bacon and Etium are ready to take out their respective bosses. Blind likes the, puns. Phantoon, however, likes to show off a little bit instead. Meet the Coben Ghost themselves.
Well, Phantoon himself is a rather interesting fight because this is one of the real RNG-based points of Super Metroid in that Phantoon has 3 patterns. Fast pattern, where he opens his eye quick, medium pattern, where it's in the middle, and slow, which is longer.
How can you tell which pattern is what? I mean, does Phantom move
Fast pattern, he opens his eye pretty much right away. A slow pattern, he does a couple of figure eights around, like there, right there, that's fast. That would be a medium pattern, and then a longer pattern than that would be a slow. Really helps when I get examples of all 3 in one fight. Now, Phantoon is in range to be hit with a super, but it doesn't matter as the team finishes it off with Doppler.
And celebrating as well. Can't blame them.
All the other checks in Wreck Ship are locked behind that fight, so you have to do Phantoon early in order to be able to check everything in this area.
And with that, I guess you can effectively call this area a mini-mall of sorts is now open for business. I mean, we have our power room right there. You have yourself a minor gym room with Spikes' motivation. We have a kiddie
And
pool.
bulls charging at you, although if you ask me, they more resemble puffers from the Metroid Prime games.
Yep. We have a kiddie pool in a few rooms above us, and of course, can't forget about the bowling lane.
Which, in all honesty, during that cutscene is a great chance to give your hands a bit of a break.
Indeed. While you can customize the controls in almost any way you want in Super Metroid, which is why we typically start on this game, some of the control schemes are a little harder on the hands than others.
Oh, for sure.
Now, Leslie, can you explain why, in order to get to a kiddie pool, you have to get through a spiky room of death first?
Somebody programming this game definitely wanted to make a challenge, because those falling spike traps hurt a lot. I'm guessing somebody in the programmers was a bit of a masochist. Wouldn't surprise me. And it's power bombs at wrecked ship E-Tank. Now, a common strategy we'll see in this Randomizer is, well, a runner will save before going for that item in case they take a death, or if the item's nothing, they can just reset back to that save.
Well, while power bombs are kind of nice to have, I'm curious about what the, I guess, comfortable or recommended maximum should be. We're at 30 right now, and I want to say there are at least 10 packs of power bombs in the game. What's your normal limit?
So the vanilla game has 230 missiles, 50 supers, and 50 power bombs, although Randomizer tends to elevate that number. Honestly, I would be fine with picking more up as long as I don't have morph ball bombs. Once I get morph ball bombs, then I consider stopping around like 40-ish. For real, admittedly, never really thought of that. As Bacon has updated to Bacon Sword.
I swear, we're all about food today. Of course, bacon is named after food. Anyway, gotta get through this attic. We want those supers.
Honestly, supers in Compromiser are one of those things that I don't ever stop picking up unless I have, like, a full-powered beam or something like that.
And Etium wants to see what is at the ball return area. Supers. Worth getting? I'll let you be the judge.
₹20 at missiles in the sky. What about on the ground? Missiles on the ground. Missiles on the ground.
And I guess it is time for us to prepare for bowling. Oh yeah, I forgot Mega Man had that sprite available. Must have come from X1 or X2. But anyway, it is time to bowl, so I need to actually set the appropriate commentary mood here. Chozo is eyeing the far end of the lane, starting to make the approach, has a good grip on Samus. Of course, we need a strike in order for the Chozo to make it to the finals. Currently keeping eye on the lane, starting to drift down. Oh no. That is a gutter ball. It will be the Decoros that move on. And that concludes your commentary, bowling commentary.
Looks like Bacon took a death in Super Metroid. Not sure how much progress was lost.
And etium does go for those supers.
Yes, both runners are running the same seed. It was in Gauntlet. Okay. Not the worst death that could happen, because Super Metroid deaths can be very punishing.
Indeed. Something that perhaps we should talk about a little is, I guess, the saving and quitting mechanics here. In Super Metroid, you can only save, just without the whole combining the games, at a save point. Now, in the Randomizer, if you were to swap games, that also counts as saving. But if you take a death, you cannot save at that point. Link to the Past, however, you can either save anytime you want at the expense of having to quit your game, or just take a death and you can just save and continue immediately.
I see Bacon wanted the E-Tank.
I'd go for it too.
Fair point. That one depends on the runners, really.
Alright, I forget what the set of rooms to the right are called, but I'm thinking Etium's gonna check that out.
Now, you can get shaft supers without Ice Beam, but you need a short charge, which is not in logic.
Leslie, they can be destroyed.
Yeah, but it takes super missiles and a lot of them, so it's like 4 per. I mean, I knew they could take damage, but it's generally not something that I consider pursuing. Etium gets the Shine Spark, and it is super missiles. And, well, that seems rather familiar. Still, routing-wise, this will work out as maybe etium went to Red Tower with the intention of doing retrograde now.
Which means gaining access to that book. Now Bacon heading to Wreck Ship, picking up the silver arrows in the meantime. So while our runners are currently retracing each other's steps, I'm going to advise that you please follow our runners, because they are certainly giving us a good race. Don't forget about my commentary partner Leslie Pro 04 and our tracker for this match, Iker. You may notice on the runner command that there is an extra link. So those links take you to the Rank 1 profiles for our runners. After all, this tournament is sponsored by Rank 1. Rank 1 is a platform where everything is about our shared passion for games, centered around our aliases rather than our social security numbers. It's a place where you're able to share and preserve all the amazing moments you experience playing games and connecting to others just like you. Find out more at rank1.global.
And now it's time for Bacon's Phantoon fight.
As Etium picks up a cape and some more missiles.
worth noting for Fantoon that our runners prefer to avoid using supers until the final hit at all costs because a super missile, while doing the most damage to Fantoon, will enrage the boss.
Unless, of course, say you're playing a game mod like, that could possibly force you to deal with the rage state anyway, because the bosses can be jerks in those. Ugh. Let's just say I've never been so glad to see a square room like this one.
I don't think I've played anything like that yet, so we'll just leave it at that.
They exist, trust me. Uh-oh, bacon miscalculated.
Yeah, I think it was a missile or two too short. Fortunately, by way of having screw attack, dodging all these fireballs is trivial.
Or just shoot them with the wave beam, and there you go. And, ooh, reserve tank at the waterway. Considering we don't have a lot of energy right now, that may be worth it.
Yeah, it was one missile off for Bacon. Bacon just needed to hit one more missile, and then the super would have finished Fantoon off.
Perhaps now we will see an X-ray scope play before seeing Meridia?
This would be a good time for it.
If Meridia doesn't pan out, well, we're kind of low on logical spots on the Super Metroid side. And I don't know if our runners would want to go back to Link to the Past that quickly, even though I just have to wonder if Palace of Darkness has something.
I'm wondering that myself, and hopefully we'll find out that later rather than sooner, because that means we're finding progression elsewhere.
Like
Speaking
right there.
of progression,
actually, that doesn't progress us as much as you think. While the hookshot is nice, we don't have anything else to complement it.
So, if we find flippers, we can full clear Swamp Palace. If we find Titan's Mitts, then Hookshot Cave becomes an option. But either way, we do need that to at least beat Arcus.
That is true. But it's not opening an immediate piece of the puzzle. Now, another option that some runners may choose to do, depending on their health and comfort levels, maybe go into the heated rooms of Norfair right now?
I think only the Ice Beam run for those heated rooms would be considered in logic and hard. Beyond that, would be just crazy. I mean, sure, you can Crystal Flash when you don't have anything in your reserves and below 50 health, with 10 missiles, 10 super missiles, and 11 power bombs at the minimum. So, what happens from here? We shall see.
Now, etium is getting ready to visit the dance hall. which are we going to dance with Gray today? Oh!
Nice! I have not seen that quick kill setup myself. Maybe a bit slower than the traditional quick kill, but it still gets the job done. And the high jump boots reward is pretty sweet.
Well, that's going to be a good one to keep in mind for next time. So now, is etium going to chance some of the heated rooms or go into Meridian? And will Bacon decide to go for the super missiles in the ball return lane?
I'd stay in logic here and go to Meridia. There's no guarantee that the heated rooms on the road to Ice Beam are going to be anything. There's no guarantee you're going to get anything out of Crumble Tower or Croc area. I mean, we do know half magic is there, but what about anything else?
Fair points. Alright. Speed boost, launch point, nothing, and secret wall missiles.
Crab supers are just plain old missiles, and Main Street missiles are just a big 20, so that's a big pass.
I believe the next room that is often checked out is the turtle room.
Yep, there's 2 locations to check in the Mama Turtle room. Bacon's gonna pass on the wreck ship supers that are at the end of the bowling lane.
Was that a vanilla energy tank?
It was. But a welcome sight, considering that's only Etium's 4th.
But they're passing on it.
It was the big 20 that Etium passed on.
Ah, okay.
Looks like Etium's going for the Everest Shine Spark and winds up going up instead of diagonal up and to the right. But Space Jump mitigates that rather nicely.
Now, I do like some of the later Metroid games because I find it a little bit easier to actually spin jump or come back into a spin. Ooh, well, there's our mirror shield in the secret room.
Yep, at Meridia Beach. And now for the 2-for-1 spot. Oh, and an interesting note about this area is that in the original Metroid game, as well as Metroid Zero Mission, this area was Brinstar's Rocky Zone, and it appears to have flooded in between games. And Meridia Beach is a whole lot of nothing.
This part used to be Brinstar?
Yes, it was in the NES release Metroid, as well as Metroid Zero Mission.
Oh, Bacon dash to the right instead of the planned upright, I believe.
I think that right was done from too far away for it to work. But there might have been a rhyme or a reason to that.
And now, to continue this tour of what type of strange planet Zeebs is, we're now in the laboratories where we find a mushroom and some bombs.
Now, the mushroom's interesting because that's a fetch quest item, and will be interesting to see what that turns out to be when that gets turned in. Now, what etium is doing here is saving before continuing, because this is often done before checking the sand pits. If a sand pit doesn't have anything of value, reset.
And to make matters worse, this lab has 2 sand pits. And both of them have 2 items. I believe that was missile. No, oh, well, there was missiles, just not the one I thought.
Arrow upgrade, so the left sand pit is nothing.
I'm guessing Bacon wants those supers from earlier. Yep.
Oh yeah, those are in logic with either ice beam or high jump. Or space jump too. High BJ as well. I believe etium is trying to save the right sandpit for routing in with Shack Tool as well. No way to get there without either grapple beam or being able to do an ice clip, but that needs the ice beam, and that's back in Zora's domain on the ledge.
So instead we have to deal with this infestation known as Botwoon. Botwoon likes to swim throughout the 4 holes and often turning to... Well, there you go, dead. I don't know, Botwoon's kind of hard to talk about. It's Botwoon.
And it's a mean enemy too, because if you don't have charge beam and you run out of ammo, you soft block, so that save before checking the sand pit also makes for a good safety save in that situation. This is definitely an ammo grind, no doubt about that.
Yeah, Etium is about to take out Dragon, but without the grapple beam, or plasma beam, or charge beam, we're going to have some battered shrimp coming up. Now, fortunately, Dragon does provide enemies so that we can get some ammo, just in case, but I completely understand wanting to be stocked up at the start.
Yeah, because this is not going to be an easy fight at all, because Dragon's Body Crush It does a massive amount of damage, even with suits. So you definitely want the ammo to get this fight done right, and there's a safety save from etium. Now, in vanilla speedrunners would not be saving this much, but when you're doing a randomizer / combomizer, it can't hurt to save.
So
Bacon's about to get their hook shot.
Yep. So I've mentioned that part of Meridia is often, to me, seen as a lab. This area, it's a nursery. Look at those cute little Dragon-style kids.
And one of the programmers actually managed to make one of those baby Dragons write something in their movement pattern, which I found to be a really cool detail.
there's the parent Dragon.
Yeah, it's 40 damage per body crush hit.
Now, I'm not used to this power bomb strategy, but apparently it can work to despawn a lot of the sticky goop and prevent the actual grab attack.
That's a very good thing to keep in mind because that grab attack does a lot of damage. Especially if you can't get out of it.
Yeah, button mashing can help with it, but I completely understand that, you know, without the grapple beam, you don't want to be grabbed by it.
And chat pointing out that the species that Dragon is from is called Evers in Fusion.
Evers, Iviers,
Potato is the way I look at that.
Is there an equivalent of Hyrule Historia for the Metroid canon?
I have yet to see one, admittedly. But honestly, that would be a good project to see after Breath of the Wild sequel gets released.
As long as we agree that other M doesn't count, right?
I mean, there were things that game did right and other things that game really just goofed. We'll just call that a case where, you tried, just fell a little short. Leave it at that.
I'll concede to that point.
So from here, Etium is gonna check the right sand pit, and I believe this is an intended route to route Plasma Beam in as well.
It makes sense. Once you get spit out of here, you are very close to the elevator. Oh
hello!
My gosh! Flippers in right sand pit?
So the right sand pit is right today, and that is going to give Etium Swamp Palace access, including an ability to be able to full clear it.
And this also gives us the Ice Beam, and we can eventually get the flute this way, which, admittedly, without the Titan's Mitts doesn't help right now, but it's still good to have.
Still can't hurt to pick it up, and we get all the Zora checks in for free. So I can understand why Etium would not want to go to Plasma Beam right now, because it's a one-off that's out of the way. However, if Bacon goes there and it turns out to be progression, ooh, that would hurt.
Alright, alright. So we're seeing at least the entry to North Fair, but this doesn't necessarily mean we're going to see some sequence breaks, or it could just be heading back to Link to the Past.
Yeah, at this point I'd be heading back to ALTTP to deal with Swamp Palace and the Zora checks.
Well, since we're already at this entryway, why not check out Spike Cave? Or not, I see the mirror equipped.
Etium did not check Ether Tablet, wasn't able to rather check Ether Tablet, so I think it's Ether Tablet into Spike Cave in all honesty.
Yeah, that can work.
And that's just a bloopy.
now Bacon sees those flippers.
Bacon wants them now. Understandably so.
The tricky part is getting the wall jump and then immediately morphing.
Just
There
like
we-
that.
And now we may see that Swamp Palace play.
It would be the play to make, as right now, I'd say the game is screaming go to swamp at a pretty loud decibel level.
But in order to enter, we have to drain the waters once again. Everyone, welcome to Swamp Palace. You will find 6 items here during your stay. That first chest is always a small key in these settings because we kinda need it to actually enter the place. Everything else, though, it can be anything and everything.
And that early map is very unfortunate because now we know for sure that there's at least one item in left side swamp, and gauging the situation, I'd most certainly go for it.
Yeah, we're missing quite a bit, if you ask me.
Yeah, right now we're missing Titan's mitts, a fire rod, and/or a medallion needed to enter Misery Mire. Which, if it's Bombos, it would be just one. We also need to find various suit, bow. There's a whole laundry list of stuff still needed.
I would like to see Charge Beam and or Plasma. And of course, we already know where Ice Beam is. We can get it now.
It certainly would be worth getting just to make Torian easier, because Ice Beam makes dealing with the Metroids pretty simple. There's the Morph Ball Bombs.
Southernmost part of Swamp. Got it.
And down goes Botchwound for Bacon. And etium's flooding the key, but this is not as bad as you might think. As, I mean, back in the day, you did this, you actually had to leave the dungeon.
Alright, what can be done instead?
Instead, watch this.
Alright,
Here's a recent discovery made within the past couple of months called Diver Down. Get in the right position, where you're in between the block and the wall, with the can of Samaria, and you just jump right in. Like that.
What?
Yeah, I've heard tell of Diver Down, but personally, I've yet to practice it.
Wow. I'm sorry, it's just, I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, it was recently discovered, I want to say, within the last month or two, and was actually recently made legal for A Link to the Past rando as well as Randomizer. So left side swamp didn't have anything important.
I still appreciate the E-Tank, though. As Bacon is about to appreciate some, battered shrimp. Now, no big key yet. That's not the normal way. Are we about to see another diver down?
Yes, we are. Runners that do that for the Switch are also likely to do it here. And it's a compass and a heart container, but also time saved versus draining the water out the intended way.
Oh.
And Dragon is down, and we've got an ether medallion.
Now, time to hope that Argus doesn't actually have our big key. Because that would kinda be annoying, I think.
It would be, yes. That's phase 1 done. Now phase 2. No rods or bows, so 2 spins or tempered will have to do. And it's a missile pack, so Swamp is done. We didn't find any major progression, but the Ether Medallion might still yet be of importance down the road.
I forgot the big key could be locked inside. Oh! Bacon wants to head to Link to the Past and is doing so through the Meridia exit.
Yeah, he's trying to do Kago jumps here. It's not easy to do, but if done, you can actually get past these annoying rollers, whatever they're called.
Anyway, Bombo's tablet. Gold sword.
At this point, I'm thinking Pod might have something. But we also have Zora checks to check first, so probably worth doing those.
Oh, we're also going to pick up that flute, it looks like.
I see. Bacon didn't get to Ice Rod Cave earlier, so that's a prime way of checking it quickly.
Neither runner has gone here yet. What if this has Fire Rod?
Yes, missiles.
And now we're about to see the camper. Hey, camper, sorry to bother you, but we need an item. Oh, an item? Here, take this. Thanks. Go back to sleep. I can understand why etium wants to make sure Sahasrahla is visited. I think there was another mirror spot we could have taken, but still, what's that green pendant for?
Missiles. Honestly, I would have mirrored in the bush maze, because you can mirror there to get to Sahasrahla easily on your way to Pod. But I'm guessing etium was not intending on going there. It was more intent on activating the flute.
It does make sense. So, I'm going to be quiet for this part. If any of you have any sort of saluting-based emotes, use them now. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, the goose is loose! Honk!
Eh.
And thus we have another appropriate way to visit Ice Rod Cave. And Bacon has just learned, okay, the left side of Sand Pit isn't gonna help us, but at least we got the right side.
The right side certainly had the goods.
However, we're running out of logical checks right now. And so you can do like a fake flipper type thing with the flippers if you do that boot strategy. Never knew.
That's one water walk I've not figured out as we get a second medallion, this one being the Quake medallion. So now, chances are we're all set with medallions. Wait a minute, what about the ice beam? Guess not. This is mushroom. Mushroom turning, excuse me.
I mean, the mushroom turning makes sense, yes, but at the same time, while the ice beam isn't necessary, I mean, there are low percent categories based off of ice beam versus speed booster. I would not... Again, I know my playstyle. I would go for ice beam. In the meantime, Bacon's heading to the plasma beam location. While Etium wants to check out Desert Palace. I mean, we're basically... Yeah,
Good.
we're basically down to Desert Palace versus Plasma Beam for next logical piece.
But also with Palace of Darkness having yet to even be looked at. I mean, you can be locked out logically after one check, but that still doesn't mean you shouldn't at least look.
Fair point.
Because what if that one thing's progression?
Well, what if Plasma Beam has it?
There's the ball! Oh my goodness! Pod is a play that only Bacon can make because Etium did not go to Plasma Beam. That changes things considerably.
Leslie, I think we both have to watch what we say. We're calling a lot of things, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. That could be a momentum shifter in this particular race. I mean, it's too early to tell right now as we're just a bit under 2 hours in. That could be a game changer.
The thing is, Desert Palace only has one item left. If Big Chest or Landmolas don't have anything, Pod is locking the next piece of the puzzle. Or Eastern. It's Pod or Eastern at this point. We only found 2 of the items in Eastern, and all of Pod is explorable now.
So right now, for etium, the only thing that could stop him from exploring Pod logically would be key logic.
Alright, fair question from chat. Are these runners allowed to keep up with each other? The answer is no. They are streaming just to themselves. They are not paying attention to chat or alerts or anything. They are just focused on their game. And they are not allowed to see how the other's doing. And while the Landmolas don't have an item for us, we still want that crystal.
Yep, because we still need that crystal. Bacon has blue mail.
Nice destruction of Landmos by etium. And nice use of Cane of Burna for bacon. Unfortunately, only one of these pays out. Alright. Etium is going to learn, one way or the other, that Pod cannot be beaten in this current state.
Best bet for etium is that right away, the first chest in Pod is either map, compass, big key, or junk.
So really, anything but a small key.
Absolutely. And also not Titan's Mitts, because that would definitely take him further away.
Etium didn't have enough money!
Oh,
short.
wow. You do not see that every day, folks. And the stun prize is arrows. That may be the best possible thing that could have happened there.
Oh no, Etium, you don't have enough money!
You were 3 rupees short, now you're 13!
And, Kiki is gone now.
That is a painful sequence right there. This is definitely a rupee run.
Well, we could also gain knowledge about where that 3rd item is. We never found that out.
I would have picked up that big 20 drop, and that team's going right back for it.
And now Bacon is heading into, well, already in Swamp Palace, but is about to hopefully not get frustrated too much. And here is the rarely seen money room of Eastern Palace. 90 rupees, but plenty enough for our purposes. here we go. Now we're gonna see what is inside that vanilla big key chest. So what do you think is in here, Leslie?
We could see the remaining dungeon item. Or something. Yep, it's the map. And with that, etium is like, nope, I'm good.
And now, for the third time, here is Kiki the Monkey.
You certainly made a little bit more than on the typical seat.
Yeah, 130 rupees. And for those that have just tuned in, Bacon was the one to have found the bow in the plasma beam room. Etium did not go there.
Supers. Okay, that's best bet for etium because now that will swing etium out of here and hopefully back to Meridia to get that plasma beam location, which with screw attack is in logic.
But, yeah. Let me just see something. If we were to pick up the ice beam, that doesn't help with logic right now. Todd has our answer, but we need the bow from Plasma Beam in order to enter.
Alternatively, there's an off chance that the Armless Knights in Eastern have what we're after.
4 remaining checks to 1. I would bet on Todd.
Same here, although sometimes with these randomizers, and I've definitely seen it, sometimes you play the odds, and the odds basically are the ones that play you.
And so here is the rare intentional visit to Meridia through this entrance. And yeah, Etium is definitely heading over there right away.
These purple cack attacks, like all other cack attacks, have a high chance of dropping super missiles.
Apparently I missed a super pack pickup because we are at 65 of them and I was only up to 60.
I believe that was the first chest of pod.
Thought I clicked for that one. Must have been something else. Oh well.
Maybe the tracker ate an input, because I've heard trackers tend to do that.
Oh, and Etium has to re-spin up there.
Now, the good news for Etium is that Bacon is just about done with Swamp Palace, so this will actually help in terms of the time situation.
Etium realizes something important's here, and, yeah, sorry you came all this way just to head back out for a bow, but...
That's how it goes.
Yep, so now just take aim and head back to Hyrule. In the meantime, Bacon is now done with Argus and is probably gonna head over to the Eastern Pod area very soon.
Or get the flute on the way.
We are still missing Biologic, Titan's Mitts, Fire Rod, and Varius Suit. I just have to wonder where they're located right now. And yes, potentially Bombos as well. And yeah, Etium is heading back over to Hyrule, where we'll see a save and quit, and then a decision. Well, it's not much of a decision, but I would say explore Pod first. Or at least head there in the Dark World so that you can choose how you mirror.
Yeah, the flute to 5 strategy makes more sense here. Bacon now has the Quake Medallion.
And is going for that Ice Beam. Yeah, there it is, just taunting us. Alright, Etium, welcome back to Pod. And now to take the long way across.
A way that's not nearly as long, considering that Etium, as well as Bacon, has boots to be able to just slam right through those bomb walls.
Yeah, I forgot the silver arrows have to be equipped in this.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I honestly forgot about as well, because I'm so used to A Link to the Past using, well, Z3R using progressive bows, which not a thing yet in Randomizer. Maybe it'll be a thing in the future, who knows?
We have found 3 out of our 6 small keys here.
Logic for Pod dictates that there will always be at least 4 small keys in the front, and that most of the items go to the back of the dungeon. So, Dr. Bob Tastic's description years ago of Pod being Mullet Mansion, business in the front, party in the back, quite accurate.
That's 5 keys up front.
That is possible. And that is a death to get health back. So where could that last small key have landed? Did it land in the dark basement? Did it land above the dark basement? Or did it land in the harmless heckway?
You can call it with its normal name. I prefer harmless hallway myself, but... Uh-oh. Oh, okay, so Bacon had activated Kiki. Oh, well, there's the key. But at the very least, no money was taken from what I could tell.
Yeah, from what I could tell. Oh, fire rod in the dark basement! So Pod definitely delivering on the goods.
Still a few more items left, though.
That's a rather timely heart refill via piece of heart, if I do say so myself.
If I've counted correctly, I don't think we have the map or compass yet.
Haven't seen that yet either. Well, commentator's curse strikes again.
Look, in this case, we were just asking for that one.
No kidding. Well, there's a heart container to bring us to 13 hearts on Etium's side.
And King Helmasaur has the final.
Now, worth noting that if Helmasaur King does not drop any progression, that means our progression is in the back of Skull Woods or on the Armos Knights. At that point, it would be one-off versus one-off, a true 50-50.
Yeah, at this rate, I'm expecting Vari to come by very quickly.
That and/or Titan's Mitts, as Bacon did get the Ether Medallion earlier.
Yes, gotta enjoy sword beams to the crystal switches.
Yep, the fastest way to go about that. Oh, chat bringing up a good point. Fire Rod could lead to progression at Pyramid Fairy, so up front we have a bit of a 50-50, but behind Skull Woods, something else.
I still maintain Titan's Mitts makes sense in Pyramid Fairy.
As does Various Suit. Down goes Helma for Etium. Let's see what this turns out to be. Three bombs, so we're done here.
Now, Eastern Palace is a pendant. Do we take it out?
You're right here, so going into Eastern would be a very safe play, just to make sure you don't inadvertently troll yourself. But Etium is taking flight, probably heading to Skull Woods. Yep.
Oh gosh, Chad is trying to come up with worst case scenario here. Various Suit on Pyramid Fairy. Grapple Beam hidden somewhere behind Various Suit. Titan's Mitts on Check Tool.
Oh god, if that's the case, then the grapple beam might as well be vanilla.
Well, plenty of people say always bet on Croc, and that would be a valid way to bet on Croc.
Yep. I mean, although Croc Escape has her half magic, that wouldn't be reason enough to take on Crocomire. It would have to be something behind it.
Bacon has otherwise cleared out Palace of Darkness and is ready to make the journey to King Helmasaur. And as for Etium, welcome to the back half of Skull Woods. We're not even going to bother checking that small chest, we're just heading straight to the moth.
Yeah, this is what most runners will do in a Skullwood situation, is go straight to the back, and then if they have to come back in for the item that's in that chest, so be it.
Oh! Got in that hole in time.
Barely avoided getting grabbed out of the hole.
Alright, Mothula's down. The reward. A map. Alright, that means that small chest in the back half of Skull Woods is either the second item or the big key.
And this is a dungeon that can lock the big key in its own chest.
We already saw that with Swamp Palace. This is the other dungeon.
Got a big key.
Alright, we're heading back to the main room of Skull Woods then. In the meantime, Bacon has taken out King Helmasaur and is now awarded with the bombs that could have been used to defeat King Helmasaur. Ooh, fair question. Chad is asking which is worse, grapple in its vanilla location or grapple on what some call Showcase Showdown, but is otherwise known as the item before Golden Teresa.
Neither of those would be pretty, admittedly. Showcase Showdown? Eh, boy, that would be space jump locked, and that would be disgusting.
Also, Skullwoods didn't have our item. That was a piece of heart. We are down to Eastern Palace or Pyramid Fairy. And Etium is going straight for the pyramid, after making a pit stop for the big bomb, of course.
And a pit stop prior to that by hitting the right pixel for Link to do a bonk animation off the bushes.
Alright, Leslie, what do you think we're going to find here?
I'm gonna say Titansmith's Varia, and in that combination, I'd be heading straight to Mire Shed to see if we're go mode or not.
Alright, end result. groupies.
Well, I'm
Varia.
1-2. So that means we have got virtually all of Super Metroid in logic, save for Shaq Tool.
All right, we have, access to everything inside of Norfair. How do you route it in this situation?
That is a heck of a question. Start with Ice Beam Crumble Tower, work down to the Croc area, exiting from there to Bubble Mountain, check that whole area out. The only problem with that routing is how do you route Cathedral? Because it sort of gets orphaned in that situation, but otherwise, again, how do you route it?
Leave through a Croc exit, pick up half magic, and go to Cathedral that way?
That would work, and with Space Jump, you honestly can do that because Space Jump, well, let's just say you can fly over and not have to worry about needing grapple to get that half magic, which I mean, we don't have to fight Trinex, but the extra magic can still come in handy.
Oh gosh, I just realized. It could be Ice Beam in Norfair, Grapple on Trinex, then Shaq Tool has it.
Except we need Titan Mitts to get into Turtle Rock, so Turtle Rock is completely out the picture here.
Right.
That might be the best news.
Chad is already trying to corrupt my mind, as it were. We're not in the Prime Trilogy, folks. What's in Ice Beam?
Oh, we'll take Super Missiles. So Ice Beam is being supers. This will go to Crumble Tower, which in turn comes out to be Big 20, not needed. Next.
Oh, nice aiming of that super.
That was tight.
Alright, folks, there are 5 items guarded by this, interesting beast known as Crocomire. There's a saying that you always bet on Croc that, Crocomire is guarding something useful.
A little, series trivia here is that at one time, they had planned on putting Crocomire into Metroid Zero mission. They just never found a way to make that work, even though Croc was in the assets that were unused for that game, as somebody found it in the coding. It just never was used for anything of importance. Not even as much as a cameo.
Item 1, Heart Container. Now Bacon realizes, okay, have to go back to Super. what's inside croc power bombs?
Arrows, which we don't need.
3 chances left.
Now, Etium is gonna take this save. Personally, I would have saved before Crocomire, so that if the first 2 checks aren't progression, I don't have to use this save. And then if the following checks are nothing, I just reset and scrap the whole area.
I can see that. Anyway, here is the cosine room, as I've been told it is. Ooh, dashed the wrong way.
Just a bit 20.
Two checks left.
Indiana Jones missiles are just 3 bombs, so now it's down to the grapple beam check, and that check only, or else the Crocomire area, including the fight, was not required. Not required. So Bacon might be on the right track here, as Bacon is heading right to Cathedral, turning off Ice Beam as well, because Ice Beam will freeze enemies before they are dealt the fatal blow. And there's a reserve tank in the Cathedral spot.
That is 3 out of 4. We are kind of low on energy at this stage, don't you think?
I'd say so, because I'm more used to seeing higher amounts of energy at this point in Siege, but that just means that some of the remaining E-tanks might be behind Titan's mitts, or we have yet to come across them. Surprised Bacon's heading this way immediately instead of checking Bubble Mountain.
I think Bacon just wants to get Ridley's Lair done and over with. But...
Chat, we have yet to find Charge or Plasma. Etium is heading for Cathedral Missile via a back door, but this is not going to lead to anything of importance. Just a trash can, as we call it. Could Titan's mitts be in checkerboard? Absolutely. In this situation, yes.
Well, let's see which way Bacon goes. Going left, so we are going to see what some call the Showcase Showdown. Because to get it, we have to go all the way around, or it doesn't count, and you have to spin again.
That name does make sense, and since I was a kid, I've watched a lot of The Price is Right. In fact, my late grandmother on my mom's side of the family would watch the show regularly just about every day for as long as I can remember. And Etium has come across the Spazer Beam, outside of the Plasma Beam, the second best beam you can find in terms of offense.
And look at that! Showcase
goodness.
Showdown with Plasma. Now, what's actually
That
in the studio?
That's certainly worth picking up. Those missiles, not so much. So this is going to become an interesting fight because Golden Chorizo can catch the supers that you throw, which allows you to shoot more missiles into it. You run out, you're going to have to start farming those eggs.
And of course, Golden Chorizo can just dodge regular missiles just by sidestepping.
Yeah, sidestepping Matrix style before the Matrix was even a thing.
And, yeah, I don't know how you can actually damage, uh-oh, did Etium check out what the, item was up there before Speed Booster?
I did not see, but it's kind of a moot point because yeah, it was power bombs. Okay. Even so, it'd be a moot point because you can just go for those whenever. Because unlike with just various super, Bacon's gotta watch it here.
But yeah, I think just use the reserve. No!
That is a very unfortunate death.
And I did not see Bacon save before heading to Lower North. Oh no, that's a criteria spawn! Ooh.
This might have been after the most recent reset, so this is fixable, but extremely unfortunate.
Piece of heart before the wave beam. And 300 at.
I felt like Bacon was getting the safe spot at times, however, here's the problem when you have to farm against GT, is you sometimes have to leave that safe spot in order to get the ammo that's dropped, especially when you don't have grapple.
The remaining items available in Logic, not counting the half magic, are in Lower North Air.
Yeah, so at this point, I can see Bacon going straight there. But saving an Upper Norfolk, okay, that's a smart play. And chat is pointing out that below 32 regular missiles, Golden Chorizo does not do the crescent beam attack that it does, that unlike Bomb Chorizo, comes at you fast and furious. Emphasis on the furious.
If I'm ever low on missiles, I may have to consider that.
Something for me to keep in mind, too.
Alright, Bacon is heading to immediately save before doing this again.
Which is a very smart strategy, because this fight's not fun to begin with.
And Etium now sees plasma. Now, what is inside the Bob Barker studio? Just some missiles. Actually, I'm now forced to ask. Is Golden Chorizo more Bob Barker, Drew Carey, or a different host?
For all we know, Golden Chorizo could be Rod Roddy or Rich Fields. Or George Gray. Basically the announcers that call the contestants out, read off the prizes, and all that stuff. For those not in the know. And more power bombs and screw attack, but more importantly, we have this portal that allows us access to Misery Mire without needing the Titan's mitts. And it is ether to get in, so we can clear this dungeon now if we so choose.
Alright, checkerboard cave. No paradox mitts today.
And Bacon takes out Golden Chorizo on the second attempt.
Now, left side Meyer shed. What do we have in here today? 2 items?
Power burns and a piece of heart. So honestly, this seems like the right time to do Meyer. You're here now, so why not?
This means we are tight mitts away from full-on go mode.
So now the question is, where are those mitts? Now on the plus side, that means we can completely go mode Ice Palace, but we have to find the mitts before we can even touch that.
Nice use of fire rod to take out these whiz ropes.
Yeah, Mire 2 can be an annoying room, especially when you don't have sword beams to make it easier. Bacon, however, is also opting to clear Desert Palace while here. Which makes sense, because it's in the area, and in terms of routing, it's quite optimal to do one than the other.
Alright, spike chest.
Oh, very funny game. You give us the ice rod when Trinex isn't required.
More importantly, that's one of 2 items inside Meyer.
Bacon has the big key and is going straight for the landmos.
Now for the Misery Mire cutscene area.
Careful with those whiz ropes, they do a lot of damage just like their Zelda 1 counterparts. Fortunately, these whiz ropes are much easier to beat. Unfortunately, chat, the Titan's mitts cannot be an ice rod because the mitts are required to get to just even get to that side of Dark Death Mountain, let alone the dungeon.
Also, that big key was vanilla. At this rate, that big chest is gonna have something. Bacon, meanwhile, taking out Landmolas.
Did not get the item in the big chest, not that it was anything of consequence, but that is a location left on their plate. So Vitreous is good, unless it's in the map chest. Vitreous will indeed have our second and final item. Now, as we approach basement 2 of Meyer, I do have one question. Since we did see Etium do Diver down, would it be safe to assume we're going to be seeing the spooky action glitch?
I'm not as familiar with it, so it's hard for me to say, and I don't even know if we can activate it by warping between games.
That's a fair point. Etium's cane dash unfortunately got blocked by the spike slider being a goaltender. So no spooky action glitch, so warping between games might have nullified it. Hard for me to say because, again, another glitch I have yet to learn. There's only so many hours in the day, folks. However, Vitreous, don't blame. Silver arrows make this fight extremely easy.
And thus we go from 11 eyeballs to 1 to none. What is the reward?
Okay. Not here, but we got it out of the way, so back to Lower Norfair is what I say.
Yep, we are down to 7 checks.
And chat brought this up earlier, so it would be worth me echoing it. The worst place for those mids to be right now would be the Armos Knights, because both runners noped out of that area.
Okay, 8 checks if we factor that in. But it is time for our extended stay into Lower Norfair.
And for those who wonder where this music came from that have played the Metroid Prime games, this game was its origin. Although actually, this game was the origin of a number of different songs used in later games in this series. The Criteria theme was in Zero Mission, with the Lower Norfair theme appearing in Prime 1, and I want to say another Prime game.
And now Etium checking out the Dead Mouse room with some power bombs. Not exactly what we're looking for. I was watching television. Sorry.
You know, how does one not put lyrics to this track, really? In the vanilla game, this would be max power bombs, but due to how the ammo packs are redistributed in Randomizer, I believe the max just basically can be a bit higher than this.
So, with the tracker I'm using, this is the max right now.
I see. Etium is going to check an energy tank spot. Which turns out to be a big 20. Generally, this gets checked on the exit, but this could be a play for more energy, possibly.
And according to some folks in chat, we are down to roughly 5 ammo packs left. At least one has to be super missiles.
I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of those wound up in Ganon's tower.
chat, I don't think it's 150, 80, 50, because if I've counted some things correctly, we're actually at 155, 75, 50 right now. And I know there's at least one more super.
And that's a well-timed energy tank. A power bomb's a shame. Although, to be fair, there's no shame in picking up an extra E tank.
Not in my world. Wait, if 150 is the max, how come the tracker I'm using can say give us more? Anyway, while I worry about software problems, here are the Common Rider pirates.
I think etium's doing this to try and preserve super ammo. Because in this situation, the quickest way to take them out outside of the short charge strat would be to use supers. I believe Wildfire's right, because Rando does randomize the amount of packs of each type to a point. Because without Charge Beam, you need a total of 60 supers to beat Mother Brand. That's a minimum.
And that assumes you don't miss. And you use missiles for everything up to that point.
And or hit Zeb Skip.
Now, because etium has the speed booster, a Zebetite skip is still possible.
Yeah, there's two different ways to do Zeb Skip. There's one that involves turning off Screw Attack, and another one that does involve using Speed Booster, but that is one heck of a tight short charge.
Anyway, there is Ridley. I believe 30 supers is enough here. But again, similar to Mother Brain and Botch Wound, there's no way to recharge ammo, so make those shots count.
And it's worth noting that that spiked tail is invulnerable.
Trying to get through what some call the worst room in the game.
A room that's quite trivial when you have Space Jump and Screw Attack.
Etium trying to get grabbed, I think.
Yeah, easiest way to do that, go into more, and that's the fight. Yeah, that is the base game maximum of 230 regular, 50 super, 50 power bombs, and there's our fourth and final reserve tank, also known as a trash can.
3 items left in Lower Norfair.
Now, at this point, we do not want to see Grapple Beam if you're one of the runners, because that means there's a probability of the mitts being at Shack Tool, which would, at this point, would just be diabolical.
I can confirm that before this race started, one of the runners wanted a troll seed.
This might be a troll seed. But not in the way they probably would have wanted because of how much Titan's Mitts lost on A Link to the Past.
Again, we can dodge the need for Titan's Mitts with Misery Mire because of the warps. And in this case, since Titan's Mitts are what we need for Ice Palace just to go mode things, we don't have to worry about Turtle Rock, so it's just one dungeon. Unfortunately, it's one dungeon plus access to Ganon's tower, that requires us to have this all-important item.
Bacon opting for the faster super strats on these pirates.
Ryder, yeah! Oh, there goes the kick. And there's another missile.
That's a piece of heart. Etium not interested.
Uh-oh. Franker Z or Armos Knights? Which is it?
Oh god, this is not a 50-50 you want to see. It's here!
Franker Z!
Franker Z's our go mode, folks.
Check Tool is dead. 2 hours, 50 minutes, and 39 or so seconds. Etium is finally in go mode.
And Bacon's farming up ammo for the Ridley fight. Even with only 31 supers, very doable due to missile and power bomb counts.
I forget, when it comes to Ridley, is it 5 missiles equals 1 super?
Slightly different on the damage table because regular missiles do 100, while supers do 600. So it's basically your equivalent of a 6 for $5 deal.
Thank you. And now Etium is heading straight for Ice Palace. And Bacon has not dealt enough damage yet. There we go.
The damage is done. Down goes Ridley.
Now, I'm curious if we're going to see another particular trick here. I don't remember the name of it, but basically we can use the Cane of Somaria to bypass the need to blow up some floors here.
Chat's already calling it out, and I have the name in my head, and it is called the Icebreaker Skip. Another one discovered in the last couple of months. So yeah, Cane of Somaria is a well-programmed item.
Apparently we're not breaking the... Oh, we're hitting the switch first and then breaking the ice.
That's how they do it. Again, it is something that I need to actually have time to learn, but been a bit too busy over the past several weeks. There it is, first try Icebreaker.
Was there like 2 or 3, frame 1 taps in there or something?
I believe there are 3 left inputs that are involved in a 1-frame window each, but I could be wrong there.
Now, while Etium is in go mode, they're still opening chests, probably hoping to find Charge Beam along the way.
Which would make sense, as it would certainly speed up Mother Brain, no doubt about that.
And, oh, according to chat, that grab move that Ridley does Apparently, it was not. It was originally supposed to actually take you out, but I guess someone forgot to carry the one or something. Could be signed to unsigned conversion or overflow error.
Or just a brain fart on the programmer's part.
I mean, for all we know, it could be an Easter egg, too.
That'd be one heck of an Easter egg.
Alright, it is now time to take out Cold Stare.
Wait a minute, I didn't think etium had enough magic there!
Oh, were you not aware of the... Wait a second, did you see beams come out of the sword?
Yep, that I did.
Then that explains it. Okay, so... Basically, if you alternate between a gold beam sword shots and the fire rod, then, yeah, the damage carries over. I've done that before.
There's something new every day about even the base game, I swear it is. Bacon Enters Go mode. I'd say it's about time we play a little game because we have 7 crystals.
Go for it.
I was gonna have you kick it off.
Alright. So, in order to actually finish the Link to the Past side, we have to find the big key to Ganon's tower. There are 22 locations where that big key can be. Put in an integer between 1 to 22 inclusive range and tell me where you think that big key is. Please keep it to integers, no decimals, no imaginary numbers, no complex formulas, just the number.
Apparently the code does not like me, for whatever reason.
I thought this was just something we played for fun.
I swear I've seen the bot around, but... Guess we're doing this one for fun then.
That's how I'm used to doing this.
Fair point.
And etium is still looking for Charge Beam. Can't blame them.
Missiles, a bloopy, heart container, and spring ball.
A little late for Spring Ball to come into play. Alright, folks, get your final guesses in because etium is about to go up those stairs and enter the tower. Alright, betting ends.
Bacon's going for the older route through Ice Palace. Nope, Room does give us a small key, so etium is going to go right side.
Skipping the tile room, as is tradition.
Speaking of, I did get beat by someone in one of the standalone Z3R races recently because someone bet on tile room and was right.
Oh! Etium took a little bit too long, probably because of just going for that magic canister. Bacon, meanwhile, getting the bomb jump that is tradition for Ice Palace, or at least the old tradition. It's still good to know that bomb jump in case, say, Canis Maria is inside of Ice Palace, but you never know.
Three is more supers. 4, well, hey, there's bombos, an energy tank, and missiles. So we're 7 deep. No key.
60, I thought.
Oh yeah, it is 6. My bad.
Also, that is all of our super missiles. There's 7. Red mail.
Red mail. And etium is taking no chances.
I do not blame them at all. The chat, it has mixed opinions about it, though. Alright, the Dark Magician Room has another energy tank, another piece of heart, another energy tank, and a small key.
That explains why we didn't find so many energy tanks going through the Super Metroid checks. They were in Ganon's tower.
Also, we are looking for one more remaining piece of heart, it looks like.
And for all we know, that final piece of heart could be on Shack 2. Not that we're ever gonna need to go there.
True. Alright, check 13, I believe, is next.
Fire Snake Room is another small key, so we got Rando Room in front of us.
Alright, 14. Rupees, 15. Compass, 16. Another heat tank, 17. Well, there's our remaining piece of heart. And of course, the 24th piece of heart is on the pedestal, which no one is going for.
Unfortunately, Big Key can't be on Shack 2 because this is not a key sanity situation.
Alright, 18. Nope.
Down we go for some Armos on Ice, Silver Arrow Edition.
Now Bacon is heading into GT as well.
Could save some time by going full left.
Unless 19, small key, 20, rupee, 21! Big key. Oh, we were so close. We were so close, but not quite. So I guess the unofficial winner today is Surger132 for going with 17. Now Bacon with that red mill, sporting the X3 gold armor set.
That is a fun armor set to use in that particular game.
Yes, the power of 4 super items wrapped into one package. And yeah, Bacon is going full left. And I am genuinely curious if our runners have kind of unofficially planned to pick up this many energy tanks right now.
No, I think that's just because Ganon's tower happened to get so many of them.
There are still 3 left in the game. And, you know, I just had a very dumb thought. It's not dumb in the, okay, how bad can this seed be, but more of a curious case here. As Etium takes out, almost, the Landmola rematch. We know that the Link to the Past side has 1-to-1 key logic. Is there similar logic on the Super Metroid side? For instance, could Shacktool guard the grapple beam?
No, that would be broken. Because the game would have to mandate that you have to be able to get to that check, and putting the grapple beam there would defeat the purpose of that.
Okay, so no Super Metroid 1-to-1 key logic. Gotcha. Now, Etium may be through the worst of the gauntlet, but still has to be careful with that low amount of health. I understand why that fall into the pit was done, but...
Blue goo.
That'll do. And we're still checking for that charge beam. Bombs in there. There's 5! Consolation chest.
Our final poopy.
It may not be the final one. What if Moldorm has it in the inevitable conclusion? I mean, unless you've actually counted all the blue rupees.
I think we've seen them all. And we got ourselves Ganon's map.
Which means, for all we know, Charge Beam could either be in Tile Room or the big key chest. Joy.
Or potentially inside of Turtle Rock, maybe on Trinex.
Anyway, time for our geometry lesson. Or maybe trig.
Good set of doubles. Nice a triple double for Etium to take down Agatu.
And now, it is time to take out the big pig known as Ganon. What are the words of wisdom today? You think you're so smart? Bet you didn't know you can't hum while holding your nose closed. Darth Vader, you can stop now.
I was actually humming with my nose closed there, so, Nice try, Ganon, but I got you fooled there.
Well, we may have defeated Ganon through clever actions, but etium has to take out Ganon through the use of traditional combat and some silver arrows to boot. And yes, we did find those silvers in Criteria.
Nice torch glitch. And nice double to finish off Ganon. We got the bacon in the first G. And in mere moments, etium will be going back into Super Metroid to get the other.
Alright, what is etium's final loadout? 150, 80, 50, and 11 E-tanks. Not bad.
Definitely a good time to load up on the supers, because those are going to be vital for Mother Brain. The power bombs are going to be vital for the Metroids, because without the ice beam, the only thing that damages them is power bombs.
Alright, while we are waiting to enter Torian, I would like to remind everyone that this tournament is sponsored by Rank 1. Rank 1 is a platform where everything is about our shared passion for games, centered around our aliases rather than our social security numbers. It's a place where you're able to share and preserve all the amazing moments you experience playing games and connecting to others just like you. Find out more at rank1.global. Oh yeah, I forgot we didn't have to wait for that statue.
I call that a nice little Randomizer exclusive to where you don't have to wait, you just go right in.
Ugh, Metroids without Ice Beam.
To be fair, when I was a kid, my first time through Tyrion, I did not know about the Ice Beam strat. I just laid down power bombs and they just kept dying, so that's what I went with.
It works.
Yeah, and you don't even have to wait for the Metroids to latch on to make the power bombs work.
It's just easier to keep them grouped together that way.
Screw Attack does knock the Metroids around quite a bit. Meanwhile, Bacon's taking on Aga 2. Aga 2 is down.
Okay, camera's locked. I see some big side hopper. What am I now going to do? Oh gosh, big Metroid. do not believe that was a baby skip there, Leslie.
No, it was not.
Now Bacon using some blue potion. Alright, now that the low health warning is taken out, if it's alright, Leslie, I'd like to kind of set the stage for this part.
Go right on ahead.
So, for the prior bosses, I've basically compared them to various different places around, either around town or around, like, a huge mall complex. Ridley's lair would have been the power plant. Here, however, this is the restaurant. After all, we've got some, Cheerios, covering the area, trying to attack us, and we also have some Zebatites, or you can think of them as perhaps Twizzlers. Etium doesn't like Twizzlers, apparently, and is just breaking them apart piece by piece. If you don't lay a consistent barrage, they will recharge. And of course, we are kind of frustrated with how this adventure has gone, so we are going to deliver our complaints up close and personal to Chef Mother Brain. Of course, this being a 2D Metroidvania platforming game, best way to deliver complaints is with missiles and super missiles. The problem with this approach, this will make Mother Brain quite angry. And, let's just say, you may think Mother Brain is willing to listen, but no. Definitely no. You will not like her when she's angry. The chef has attacks named by foods according to the Super Metroid community. We get to see chicken nuggets or meatballs. We get to see onion rings from the mouth. We sometimes see french fries from the eyes. And from the hands, we see either ketchup or tomato sauce. And let me tell you, getting hit by a bunch of ketchup, it's kinda hurting on the mobility front, let me tell you. However, the chef is willing to deliver a full course meal to you. Once you deal enough damage, the dessert, Rainbow Sherbet. Quite good at causing brain freeze, I might add. And so, the chef wants to deliver the final blow, but nope. The baby Metroid stops the attack and basically gives Mother Brain some brain freeze herself. Okay, canonically it's technically draining the energy from Mother Brain, but hey, the community likes their food. I'm sticking with it. Bacon, meanwhile, approaching Mother Brain as well, using Ice Beam strategies compared to the Power Bomb strategies that we saw on Etium's side. And if you're wondering, yes, the Metroids can give energy as well as take, but it's kind of rare to see that in action because, well, Metroids, they like to take energy. But then again, the mother-daughter bond was formed properly. Unfortunately, the last Metroid has been destroyed, and Samus is now the angry one. Using the power of the Hyper Beam, or Metroid Beam, depending on what you call it, we get to deliver our final payback, or payment, to the chef, as we kinda have to close down this restaurant for good.
It violated too many health code restrictions.
there's just one problem with this plan. How did we let a restaurant somehow explode the entire planet? It doesn't matter. We have 3 minutes on the clock to get out of here and leave this entertainment district of Zebs alone, or Zebes, or Zebes, or Zebeth, or... Did we ever agree on how to pronounce the planet? It probably doesn't matter in the end.
Yep. In the end, it doesn't really matter.
After all, this place is blowing up and we're trying to avoid being part of the atmosphere when it does.
The only question is, will the animals be out of the atmosphere, or are they also going down with the ship?
I know what I want the answer to be, but I also know what the answer is likely to be. Etium, prove me wrong. You did not prove me wrong.
And that'll do it. Get your GGs in chat for Etium, who wins the race to advance with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 25 seconds.
And with that, we now have Etium with us in the commentary booth. GG.
Hey, thanks. That was a seed.
Yeah, we were last locationing a number of spots, and we were getting concerned about how this was going.
Yeah, I think I last locationed the bow. Well, I did last location the bow. That was one of those moments where I'm like, oh god, it's in plasma, unless I skipped something. I hope I didn't skip something. And then almost last located the Titans. The only thing I had left, besides Lower Norfair, was Armos Knights. I think I full cleared the entire overworld that was not Mitzlock.
You both full cleared the overworld that wasn't mid-slot.
Did you have go mode Mitz as well?
Yes.
Oh my, talk about cutting it close, right down to the last super to get into the next phase for Bacon.
That is a close one. So no sign of that charge beam anywhere. I was looking for it a bit, but I mean, I had 80 super, so I wasn't too worried.
Bacon had 55 and 135 missiles.
Yeah, that's definitely cutting it a little closer.
Yeah, at the very least, you've managed to survive elimination. I don't know who your next opponent is supposed to be, actually.
Yeah, neither do I. I'm sure they're probably better than me, though.
You never know.
True that, that's why you play the game, and this was a tough seed as well. One that was very stingy with where to go, and a number of different bottlenecks that got both of you.
Yeah, I was definitely stingy on the E-tanks. I think I found about 5 or 6 of them in GT alone.
Yep. It was kind of humorous to that effect that, you know, Ganon was actually hoarding the energy up in the tower. But that's how the seed goes at times. At the very least, you didn't have to worry about a required red tower reverse trip to get a key item. Like one set of runners had to do last week.
Yeah, I saw that one. That's not a big deal with space jump, though.
Fair enough. Leslie, do you have any other questions for Etium over here?
So one thing I am curious about is how far off are we to the bracket reveal? I am curious to see how that'll shake out.
Yeah, I don't have any idea about that.
Because I'm curious to see how that bracket's going to shake out personally. Although I am curious about one thing. Was there any time, any one point where you just thought about going back to Eastern just to finish the Armos Nights?
When I was at Pod and I got the fire rod there, that basically opened up, one item in Skull Woods. So then it was a question, do I want to do, Eastern now while I'm here? Or do I want to go to Skull Woods? Because my progression's got to be one of those two. So I decided to nope out and just do Skull Woods. And that worked out.
Certainly.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it certainly did work out because while the progression wasn't in the dungeon itself, the big bomb produced from beating Skull Woods wound up leading to Varia's suit and the rest of the scene.
Yeah, that's how it panned out. Yeah, I actually forgot about Pyramid Fairy before I went to Skull Woods, so I was thinking, oh, there's only one item here. And as soon as I beat it, I was like, oh yeah, I can go do Pyramid Fairy now.
Bacon, thank you for making Metroid Fusion canon. Sorry, it had to be addressed.
Yeah, somebody had to say it. This wound up being a pretty close race.
Yeah. No, if I'd already seen the dot done, I'd probably go save the animals too. But, without that, I think it would be kind of stupid to do it, and not just stupid, but also kind of disrespectful. So.
Yeah, it certainly was a close one, as Bacon is in with an official SRL time of 3:27:37.
Right now, I'm trying to see if Bacon wishes to join us for an interview. And we are joined by Bacon. GG.
Hey, guys.
GG, Bacon.
Hey, GG's.
Thank you. That was... I actually felt pretty good about that one for some reason.
Well... Alright, so I did mention during the midway point of the match that one of you was hoping for some type of troll seed. Bacon was the one that wanted it, and it was a bit trolly with some of the item locations, but apparently that wasn't enough. I will at least reveal, Bacon, you did find the bow first.
Yeah, after Dragon, I skipped, plasma, to go down to do the other sand pit, which got me the flippers, but I ended up last locating that bow.
Oh, okay. Yikes.
It's been a long time since I've had progression at Plasma, so I tend to skip it a lot. But maybe it's not always the wisest decision.
Yeah, I think our last seed had flippers in that sand pit too.
Yeah.
Having a little bit of deja vu there.
Yeah, I don't even really remember that one. Felt like so long ago.
Yeah, I remember it because of one of the progression loops. But anyway, yeah. Did you end up doing Upper Norfair?
Yeah, I've full cleared pretty much everything in Super Metroid except like Shack Tool and maybe, I don't know, one or two other spots. I never even found the grapple beam.
Yeah, me either.
Did you have flippers the first time you went to Zora, or did you come back for Ice Beam?
I went back for Ice Beam.
Yeah, I thought about doing that because it does save a bunch of time in Torian, but decided it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I know our commentators can tell you I dumbed a little bit with my Meridian or Meridia routing. Go down a sand pit, reset. Shit. Sorry, crap. What am I doing? Reset or go back in, go back down, and then go up to Plasma. So I probably wasted a couple minutes right there.
I think there was also a death that was rather costly. I think it was the first attempt against Golden Teresa that was quite costly.
Yes. Yeah, that probably cost me about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think you add those two things up, and that's probably the difference in this race, if I had to wager a guess. But this was a very close, very good race.
Yeah, for sure. GG's.
GG's. I'm glad I could give you a better one than the last one.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess I gotta practice for brackets now. I don't know who.
All right. Comms, you guys have any questions for me?
Leslie handled the questions much better than I would have come up with, so.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hop out. Thanks to the commentators, Leslie and Wolfman, and I guess the tracker was Iker.
It was.
Yeah. So thanks to you guys for putting this on.
Not a problem. For those that are interested in more Super Metroid Link to the Past action, our match ran a little over 3 hours, so I don't know if there are any more matches running right now. But I believe tomorrow we'll have. Well, I see at least one match at 10 p.m. Eastern tomorrow between Endia's and Hype's Nova 1. And some back-to-backs. Iris Isotheus versus Stachio Cat at 11 a.m. And In the Name of DT versus Relkin at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Well, 3:10 technically. So please make sure to follow twitch.tv/speedgaming and speedgaming 2-6 to catch all the action. Anything else, Leslie?
Chat's pointing out that there is another match going on in progress on SpeedGaming 3, so we're not quite done yet with that. Also, feel free to follow our runners, the true stars of the show. Because without that, we'd just be talking about random video game stuff.
Or going back into great crossovers like Mario and Sonic and okay. For everyone here, this is Wolfman 2000 aka Danstead. Have a good night and stay safe all.
Absolutely. Take care. See you next mission.